Radiance ban.
Alright, hello and welcome back, guys. I'm Chicago Ted, and I'm bringing you
Dyer's
the
ban.
Sudamerican Masked 4 matchup between Generation X and Infamous. Of course, Infamous have a one-game lead, which is to be
Radiance
expected
ban.
as far as the matchup goes. We expected Infamous to have this sort of dominance, but Generation X put up a pretty decent fight, and I wouldn't be surprised if they bring this to
Dyer's
game 3,
ban.
but we'll have to see if they can actually do so. Joining me for this endeavor is Android, and do you think we're going to be seeing a great game too, or
Radiance
do you
pick.
think Infamous are going to roll off some momentum here?
I honestly think it has the potential to go both ways. I feel that Infamous are going to kind of steamroll this one. They're back in their
Dyer's
stride.
pick.
They kind of got a sense for how G3X are going to play, and they're starting things off with a Beastmaster, which is a fantastic laner, great team fighter, great pusher, and I just get the feeling that Infamous are kind of done playing around, kind of done going for cheeky strats, and they're all in for this game too.
Do you know how much I love Beastmaster, Annie?
I have a hunch that you really like Beastmaster.
Probably my favorite hero in the game right now. And
You know,
that is a
Radiance pick.
tough call between a lot of heroes.
yeah, I would have thought you and your Invoker are pretty tight.
I just play Invoker because he's fun to play. All right, I'm trash at the hero. What I think about the hero is that he is very versatile. I'm talking about Invoker right now. He's versatile and he's powerful, but he isn't my favorite hero in the game because as far as the way the hero works,
Radiance ban.
can hold his own in the early game, but he definitely
Dyer's
is not
ban.
a strong pace controller. He relies more on the ganks coming through to make his impact, unless the enemy mid is completely and utterly
Radiance
terrible, in
ban.
which case, yeah, you can run this over. But Beastmaster, however, is a hero that can just take control of the game and put it all on his back for the first 15 minutes. I mean, if he gets shut down in lane, he can jungle, whether his
10
own or
seconds
take
to
control
go.
of the enemy's jungle if the supports aren't quite strong enough to hurt him.
5 seconds.
And when he does get a couple points in Boar and a couple points in Inner Beast,
Dyer's ban.
then there's no stopping the hero, and there's no stopping those around the hero. So honestly, he's a whole lot of fun to play, but he's also a lot of fun to watch and can just absolutely rip the game open if you don't
10
control
seconds to
him.
go.
So him with Invoker is going to be a very tough combo to go up
5
against,
seconds.
and they've got a whole lot of physical damage that can come out. I like the Oracle pick from Generation X,
Reserve
and I like the
time.
Slardar pick, because they will be able to offer a lot of control to try to lock this guy down. But so far, they've got nothing for the jungle strategy, which is Invoker and Beastmaster both picking up Necronomicons and just running Generations towers down, which I think might be the strategy here
Dyer's
and
pick.
could very well mean a 18 to 20 minute GG.
Yeah, I've seen it happen before. I love Infamous's lineup right now just because we got the pretty boys going through. We need Skywrath Mage, and this will be the most attractive team in Dota. But G3X, they're going to go ahead and pick up a Vengeful Spirit, which I think is
Radiance
a
pick.
fantastic support. I think Venge, Lion, and Witch Doctor, and, maybe Support Enchanter is probably the most in demand of the game just because they're so versatile. They can start the party off right, and we've got Lion picked up
Dyer's
on the side of
pick.
Infamous, another one of those with a nice lockdown, nice nuke,
Radiance
Drow
pick.
Ranger on a lineup with a Slardar I have some questions about, but we'll see how it works out.
This is a Drow Venge. I'm thinking that we're not going to be seeing the Drow playing the one position here. She is at best going to be the versatile 2 or even a 3. Because with a Drow Vengeful Spirit, this isn't buffing up the Drow, I don't feel. I think this is buffing up another right-click
10
carry that
seconds
they're
to
planning
go.
on getting. Whether it be, dare I say it, a Medusa,
5
which
seconds.
I doubt, but it could be possible.
That's so risky. There's no way it's a Medusa. They just don't have
Reserve
the,
time.
I
the
doubt.
beef to back her up.
But it's possible. The thing I'm trying to point out here is that I think there's another ranged carry coming out very soon. Don't know
Pharah?
who it's going to be, but I
Dyer's
figure it's
ban.
going to be one. And if it's a mid laner, we might be seeing one like a mid Shadow Fiend making its return here. Of course, it doesn't do that well against an Invoker. I just think you don't pick a Vengeful Spirit and a Drow with
10
a
seconds
lineup
to
like
go.
the one you've got and not have a reason to
5
grab it
seconds.
like a mid laner who will benefit a lot off of that Drow aura and the Vengeful aura. So I don't
Reserve
know.
time.
Mark my words on this one. I think we're going to be seeing another powerful range carry come out. But in the meantime, Infamous, they've grabbed themselves a bounty hunter as well. With that roaming bounty and the ganking potential of the Beastmaster and Invoker, and hell, even the Lion if he's able to get a fast Blink Dagger. I am really, really hoping Generation X have a strong strategy to deal with this. Because as of right now, they're going to get run down, and they're going to get run down hard.
Yeah, I think this is kind of what we talked about at the very beginning, how Infamous, they're done messing around. They're here to win right now, take game two flawlessly, because Generation X is a pretty solid team to give them a run for their money. Back to Generation X's last pick here. Is a gyrocopter okay? Apparently not. I was going to say it's a
Radiant's
gyrocopter
ban.
something they're looking to pick up, but with a ban out against it, they're making sure Infamous don't get their paws on that, and I think rightfully so. Infamous still looking for their position one. They're going to want something that comes online really early. I think Juggernaut might be in the cards, maybe even an anti-mage. Is that too risky?
10 seconds to go.
For Infamous, I don't think so. I don't think it goes well against Generation X's lineup at all, but it could be possible.
Dyer's pick.
I would think they would grab someone more like Hella Morphling. Could work out pretty well right now for Infamous's lineup. I think it would be fantastic to go with them. Other than that, just any carry that benefits a lot off of attack speed. And I know all of them benefit off of attack speed, but I'm saying look further than that. I'm saying look for the heroes that get more out of their right click, get a whole lot of early game physical
10
damage rather
seconds
than
to
carries
go.
that rely too much on the spell usage. So we
5
might be
seconds.
seeing something like a Sven come out from Infamous, might be seeing a Morphling. Could be a
Reserve
Spectre just
time.
because of the Bounty Hunter. I think could work with the global potential coming out from that. But any real one position could work for Infamous. Generation X, though, I am really excited. But at the same time, I don't know about their lineup right now, and it has to be something that makes me go, yeah, that's it. That's going to win them this game. Or else this is just still not going to be my favorite lineup.
Honestly, the only hero that I would say that to is Skywrath Mage, but that is for very different reasons. So I'm with you. I think the Generation X are playing a risky game, and I
Radiant's pick.
don't like this pick whatsoever. If they're trying to use Death Prophet for that early game push with the Exorcism, then they didn't pick the rest of the lineup around that. I think Infamous, they have just more potential with early game Snowball and early game push, and the Death Prophet, I feel like might just end up being a liability more than anything.
What's going to happen in this game is the Death Prophet is going to pop Exorcism, and if Oracle is not quick on his fingers, that is the
10
only
seconds
exception
to
here
go.
to this, then what's going to happen is Beastmaster is going to roar, Invoker is going to have a Sunstrike
5
primed up,
seconds.
and then you've got a Finger of Death ready, and you blow her to smithereens. All right? If the Oracle's there, then she's going to survive for 10 seconds before she gets blown to smithereens. With the Slark pickup, now you've controlled the Drow Ranger. Slark will just go in behind the lines, hit the Drow Ranger a couple of times. If you've got the Dark Pact primed and ready, then even if she pushes you back with the Silence, you can still immediately follow up and just get right back next to her and bring her down with a well-timed leap or something along those lines. So at the moment, I think Generation X have the answer Infamous had the answer for Generation X's lineup, and Generation, they decided, okay, yeah, the Vengeful Drow is going to be the only two heroes that we're going to really be benefiting off of that, because Death Prophet isn't exactly known for her right click, and even though it will help her in
10
lane,
seconds to
it's
go.
not exactly going to win her this game. And Oracle, again, it'll help him in
5
lane,
seconds.
but his right click is going to be the least important factor about the hero going in a couple minutes from now. So for the moment, I give the lineup of Infamous a 70-30,
Places,
maybe
everyone.
even 80-20 lead over Generation X's lineup, where they have to dominate their lanes and they have to itemize perfectly, or else I don't think they have a shot.
I'm pretty much 100% with you. I think a team with a bounty is terrifying. Infamous have so many tools to keep G3X on their toes the entire time, and I'm not seeing the laning sustainability coming out from G3X. I think Slardar, if he is in that offlane position, has the potential to get run over pretty quickly. You've just got rotations on top of rotations coming out for Infamous, and with the omnipresent threat of a Sunstrike, it's hard to be G3X right now. I'm not sure where their power spike is going to be. Up top, got a Beastmaster going through, getting a little cheeky here.
Yep, I
Gonna
think
get
they know
pinked
he
out.
warded, though. Like, Confortado's got a
30
sentry
seconds to
already.
go.
He's going to probably drop it down. Yeah, they got it. And oh no!
Oh, no, it's so close.
You know that story about Icarus flying too close to the sun? It looks like this little Icarus is not quite close enough to get punished for it. So,
God, I
what a
hate your
ward
puns.
placement.
Well, as we head into the horn here, it looks like Radiant going to be cleanly taking bottom rune. Slaughter opting to back off and go for a
here
nice
we
block
go.
here up the lane, which should be pretty successful if he gets out in time. It looks like he will. So no contest over the runes just yet. And in terms of overall wards, yeah, we have
Feeling this is
that
gonna be good.
terrible dramatic tension going on here in the top lane, but Dire have some really good coverage of Radiant regardless of that.
Yeah, and I think they know that this Observer Ward is here. Like, they know it's dropped down. They drop another sentry to think that maybe there's one blocking the camp and getting a little bit of vision into the river, but it's not there as well. The third ping comes out, and they're saying, guys, it's closer to the safe, or the easy camp, right? Which is technically true, but I think they've also got a little bit too extreme. The weird thing about this Observer Ward is it's not exactly a blocking ward, and it doesn't accomplish a whole lot aside from vision, and teams don't expect that at this point in the game.
Invoker! Oh, man!
Yeah, that was a very close courier snipe, but when you've got a bounty hunter, you've got to expect things like that.
Did that.
I mean, he's gonna get back up to full health, but we've seen how quickly a Death Prophet can just destroy his health pool, and now Venge's gonna rotate in. She has the magic missile. If they catch him unaware for just a moment, this could absolutely be first blood in favor of G3X.
You know, I actually honestly thought
Yo,
you
tap
were
the
talking
draft.
about the courier snipe, or the potential courier snipe. I had no idea that Invoker had actually dropped that low in the mid lane, so my bad.
Trouble
As
brewing at
Zitok
Radiant's
looks like he's
bottom
throwing in a
tower.
little bit of aggression, but rightly so. It looks like the Dire have Confortado in to offer some babysitting services for Rayer and just make sure that even with this bounty hunter here, Aiton's going to have a hard time bringing down this Death Prophet.
Yeah, I mean, Death Prophet, she's reasonably survivable in lane. Of course, once she hits 6, she's like super survivable. Down bottom, there's going to be a nice Earth Spike here onto the Slaughter. Lion's doing a great job keeping him back and letting Slark get free farm, but of course, Slark, not necessarily the most farm-dependent hero. He needs kills, and he needs to be spoon-fed kills before he's able to really come online. If you're Infamous, what's the best way to do that? Do you rotate the Slark, or do you rotate people into Slark's lane?
Well, I'm gonna counter that by saying yes and no. I think he is definitely a farm-dependent hero, at least for the first 10 minutes. You're right, he does have to get kills, but he can do it solo if he's able to farm up in lane for a very
Oh,
fast...
Courier!
The
Courier!
Dire's courier took
It's
a
going to
trip
happen
to the
one
old
way or another
family
when you've got a
farm.
bounty hunter, I guess. Zitok was right there, ready for it. He even
Now,
walked
Oracle.
under a sentry ward. But I don't think Oracle had quite enough vision at that point in time to catch him on the tail end of that. So, very, very good movement from the bounty. However, you've got the backstab from Confortado. They're going to sandwich in these two, but it looks like only... Actually, no, they've got a dust for Zitok. Planning ahead, but is it going to be enough? Greedy's there, getting a little bit of damage off. Zitok still alive. The last right click will come through, but it's not going to quite be enough. Finally, Confortado will finish off the kill, but Greedy is going in deep for this one. He will get blocked in, though. Excellent movement from Confortado. Is able to get through. The heal is going to keep him pretty high up, and the board getting close, but Lawling Blue will stay alive through it all. However, it looks like Zitok, he
Radiant's
still
mid
wants a
tower could
kill
use a
here.
hand.
I don't think he's going to get it. Doesn't mean he still doesn't want it. As he puts a second point in Janata, getting close, but will not be able to get that follow-up right-click off, getting dangerously close to the tower range.
I think at one point he was just barely under tower range. They know he's still around, and that's why they opt to TP back the low drow rather than having her walk through. So we are going to have Bounty waiting, maybe hoping that Oracle was hiding in the trees, but Oracle is back to safety at this point, and Zitok unfortunately won't be getting the kills he was looking for. He might rotate into the mid lane. Death Prophet, she's sitting with reasonably average health and mana, nothing spectacular. And Invoker, well, he's ready to go in, maybe trying to bait out the Death Prophet a little bit as Zitok, wrapping around from the back, hasn't revealed just yet,
be
hasn't walked
so
under any
hard.
vision.
Denied.
I think it's going to be really hard to get this kill, even if they're able to get it off. I mean, all Rayer has to do is turn around and drop down a Soul Sight, and he might be able to survive it. He'll get it off onto Aton. The Sunstrike comes down, but it will be split between... No, there's no creeps to split it. However, turns around with the Crypt Swarm, now bringing down Zitok, but Zitok will stay just barely alive to get the last hit. So Aton will drop. RZS was in close by, though, to help out and get a kill to follow up onto Rayer, but this That was one hell of a fight, and exactly what I thought would happen. Rayer gets the Soul Siphon off and is able to live through the brunt of the damage. Excellent play coming out from that Death Prophet. Well, more or less just doing what Death Prophet's known for. In the meantime, though, Greedy's going to go up top with Z-Talk. This time they should have Lulling Blue as they come out with the Shuriken toss to cancel that TP out. Cavertado once again from the backside as in comes the Fairy Fire helping Greedy stay alive. Now all that Inner Beast and all the attack speed and all the slows in the world, they might just be able to get her, and they do. Talk about splitting a game wide open. This is why I love Beastmaster.
Oh, they lose their Slark though. Down in the bottom lane, Slardar, he goes in deep for this one. He actually doesn't end up paying too steep of a price. He's able to stay in the lane. Lion's not going to do a whole lot against him. Lion's only level 4. No Finger of Death coming out for him just yet. Losing the Slark here was a pretty big casualty.
Unexpected. There's no Naga in this game to fight for the love, so why are they fighting each other? Well, could just be because Slardar is a frickin' beast in the off lane, and Slark, when he doesn't have
Fish Boys,
3/4...
man.
What?
I said fight of the Fish Boys, man.
Gotcha. But when Slark doesn't have Yanagi keeping Dashka back, then he is a very squishy laner, especially pre-6. He is very susceptible to harass, and that's why a lot of the time, whenever you see a Slark in a 1v1 melee lane, you say, oh, Slark should win that one because he steals stats. Well, no, because he's also very squishy and tends to get harassed out of lane pre-level 6. So once he hits that 6, he can sustain in lane against Dashka easily. But for right now, if he doesn't have Yanagi babysitting him, he is very susceptible to going down those 1v1s, and as we saw had happened, as Yanagi now going to chase down Cavertado. Actually, it's Cavertado getting the block off. Plenty of room for Rayer to get the Soul Siphon off. However, it could cancel pretty immediately with the Earth Spike catching 2. They'll turn around, try to bring down Aton. However, Cavertado has already gone down. Aton now being chased as Rayer with the Soul Siphon. Another Earth Spike to lock in Rayer. However, the Crypt Swarm and a couple of right clicks, courtesy of the illusions, the TP will get canceled though from the Shuriken toss, turn around with the Crypt Swarm onto Aton. However, this is an effort in futility. A couple more right clicks from the illusions, trying to bring down Aton. Last right click coming through. However, the regen from the Quash should keep him very healthy. More TPs. No! What?
And we're not done yet. We're still going to have a chase going on in the back lines as Z-Talk is going to go underneath another sentry, but they needed a dust there. And, he's fine.
He's not going to go for it. He had an extra 50 damage, and he didn't go for it. Okay, well, he finally threw one out, but it was way off the mark.
It was like 180 degrees off the mark, so Cavertado, maybe just a little too much hesitation, definitely cost them the kill on that slippery Bounty Hunter, and he died pre-level 6, so that's going to mean Bounty Hunter, or he lived pre-level 6, so he's not going to have that 6 delayed. Track's going to come out pretty soon. Vengeful Spirit did get a ward in return for that, so 50 gold is better than no gold, but oh, it could have been so good.
I like what's going on in the bottom lane, because of the way amplified damage works, 3/4 cannot just okay. That's an interesting kill for Generation X to get. Aton will get brought down in mid lane. At risk of the fight breaking down, I'll hold on to that thought as a tier 1 tower getting chunked away by the spirits of the exorcism from Rayer. And he will back off. Okay, it looks like I got a little bit of time. So one thing I really like about what's going on in the bottom lane, because of the way amplified damage works, 3/4 cannot just back off into the trees and regen up with his ultimate. He has to Dark Pact it off. And that is eliminating his entire mana pool. So when it got spammed out on him, he was at 0 mana and then another amplified damage and low HP, and he couldn't do anything about it. Now it's working out a little bit better for him because he got a little bit of babysitting, but you've got multiple heroes rotating to this bottom lane trying to bring him down. He's in the trees though. They don't know where he is just yet. It looks like they probably won't get the Slark kill unless they can guess his movement. Or if he makes a really stupid move and tries walking out, in which case he's dead anyway. But it looks like he'll be fine for now. No, Dashka gonna call out the trees, getting cut down. Dangerously close to smelling the fish. Might be smelling himself though. I think he thinks he's smelling himself as he walks away.
Disgusting.
Oh, come on. Tier 1 tower got him. Dropping pretty low. A couple of TPs, and they've got the Primal Roar. They're going to go ahead and hit him with the Fortune's End to burst things off, but he does get brought down. In the meantime, there will be a Shadow Dance from 3/4, dropping way too low to make any sort of impact. However, Z-Talk going to move in close, gets off all the damage from the Shuriken toss, bounces to Rayer. but they will
Dire's
purge off the
mid
track with the
tower's having
Fortune's End,
technical
so
difficulties.
all said and
Can't do
done, not
nothing
too
about
bad.
Dire's structures
In the end,
right
though, I
now.
mean, Generation X, they lose one for not much of a trade. Infamous,
Dire's
I mean,
mid tower
Slark
could
is
use a
still
little
feeling a
help.
little bit underpowered right now, but he does have that Midas, which is going to delay his strength for a little bit until he's able to get the Aquila up, and maybe even a Shadow Blade or a Blink Dagger, at which point this Slark is going to be very hard to stop.
Yeah, I mean, this is the point where Slark starts to really come online. He's still top of the last hit chart, top of the net worth chart. Once he starts getting those kills, which inevitably he's going to be start stacking up the kills, and he's just gonna climb and climb. And who on G3X can rival that? Can the Slardar, the Drow, the Death Prophet come online and do enough crowd control to prevent Slark from being a late game monster?
See, it would have to be the Drow and the Slardar, because if you're talking about crowd control, Rayer's got it. But there's going to be so much emphasis on keeping Rayer alive in the fight that you leave the Drow, you leave Lawling Blue very vulnerable. So if they go after Lawling Blue and they're able to get RZS to pop all of his support
Trouble
spells in the
brewing
Lawling
at
Blue,
Radiant's bottom
then
tower.
Rayer's dead. And if Rayer's
There
dead, their
goes
team
Radiant's
fight's over.
bottom
But if you
tower.
bring down the Drow, then half of their damage is gone. It's kind of like Infamous. They can pick and choose their target and then stop when RZS focuses them and then change their targets. They go in now for Dachka, Sunstrike. That's the combo we were talking about. However, Rayer's still alive, Lawling Blue as well. They'll chase down, they'll bring down Yanagi first. It doesn't seem like they'll be able to get much more out of this one as Zetok is invisible. They pop out with a couple of tracks that are getting taken away by the Fortune's End, but they just keep coming out faster than RZS can take him off. At one
Dire's
point,
mid-tower
you just
is
decide it's not
nothing
worth it
now.
anymore. They'll pop a dust. They're looking for the swap. The Fortune's End a little late,
Radiant's
but
toughened up
Cavertado's
their
still diving in
structures.
for it. They will not
Radiant's
get it
bottom
off, though,
tower ain't
as
a
the
pretty
tier 2
sight
bottom
right
does
now.
go down. Though
Radiant's
Infamous, they
bottom
want to trade it
tower's
away.
done
They've
for.
got Greedy, working on it, whittling down the mid lane. He is going for the Necronomicons as we talked about. Aton, I don't think he's going for them just yet. He's instead opting for the drums first, which I respect. I like that item a lot, especially in conjunction with the Beastmaster, but I expect to see him get something like a Necro book at some point in this game.
Yeah, just going through, looking at the overall pace of the game, I mean, XP is still in Infamous's favor, and I think it's going to continue to do so. Gold is not such a huge lead, but it's going to be a slow and steady spiral into the abyss for G3X. I feel like, it's going to be going up against a bounty hunter, and we have Zetok, who's prioritizing these tracks in every single fight, spamming them out whenever they're on cooldown, making sure every single person is tracked up faster than Oracle can take them off, so I think this is the beginning of the end for G3X. It's a little bit soon to just call out the GG, but Infamous, their team fights are fantastic. G3X just don't have the damage and the scale, I feel.
Well, they need to find it somewhere because Infamous are going to be knocking down their towers a lot quicker than they have been in the past, and Generation X need a way to stop it. They've still got the Exorcism, which is good to help kind of work out the fight. They are going to be able to take a Roshan here too, which is another really good point of power for them to have, and ultimately it's not that bad a position for them to be in. They just have to keep working around the spell usage that Infamous have and keeping their guys alive. As looks like Zetok's going to come in with a couple of tracks, but who's really in trouble here? I think 3/4 might be in a bit of a problem spot as he goes in, pops in immediately for the Shadow Dance, but we're hit by the Slithering Crush. Cavertado very low, the track getting him in, keeping vision of him. They turn around, they get the Primal Roar out onto RZS, which opens this fight wide open. The Aegis will pop, Lawling Blue though dropping very low with the Shuriken bouncing to all three targets. They'll get majority of them. Now chasing down Rayer. Can they bring him down? They can! A triple for Aton, but they're all just running down. They've got another Shuriken toss bouncing where it needs to go. Those Shurikens, MVP, but in the end, Generation X will get annihilated with a dieback on RZS and a 5-man wipe regardless. Infamous. That was the fight we were talking about. That was the power curve we were talking about. And the Zeus strategy, it works. And it is painful.
The Dire weren't
Slark, meanwhile, is just like, alright, you guys enjoy your kills. I'm gonna go slap up some mud golems. And he absolutely can do that, as Midas is gonna be off cooldown in 10 seconds. And, well, all he really has to do, go in, make the most of these creeps, TP back to base, and there's nothing lost for Infamous.
Yeah, nothing lost at all. Infamous They're just going to go ahead, bring down the towers. A tier 1 sits in the mid lane. I mean, this couldn't be a better opportunity for Radiant to take more out of the fight than they should have gotten. Because there is a glyph to spend, but even if they didn't get the tier 1 tower, there'd still be a glyph.
Tower's getting the business.
Okay. I've seen this a couple of times. I just have to point it out because I love it. You can see which unit the tower is attacking. Dear God, that's amazing.
What do you mean?
Not this
Click
time.
on the tower. You can see what it's aggroed to.
I don't see.
You don't see it?
Guess what's happening to
No.
Dire
Oh, I
Tower?
see it! Holy crap! Either way, the Radiant, they're gonna be looking in for the kills here. They go in, they blink in the Slark, he gets the pounce, there's a Sunstrike to follow up, they don't even need it, there's gonna be a Primal Roar coming through, onto the Death Prophet, she gets swapped up at event, trying to preserve her life for as long as possible, not gonna help that much, as it's gonna be another Ultra kill for the Radiant Slark. He is online right now, Slardar, the only one being let off with a warning. He's slithering away, but might not be so lucky. Looks like Radiant gonna show him a little bit of mercy now. They're all smoked up, they want to reinitiate, and they can absolutely do so.
18 to 20 minutes, Sandroid,
Dire just
is
couldn't
what I
save
called
that bottom tower.
18 to 20 minutes, and I think we're very well attainable of that goal that Infamous, I think, set in the draft, because the Necronomicon's getting stronger and stronger. I already have a 2 recipe purchased and a 3 that can be purchased right now. In fact, it does. It's still in about a minute cooldown, but that gives the
Guess what's
courier time to
happening to
bring it
Dire?
out
Dire's
in its
bottom
own
tower
leisure.
got
But
blown to
all
bits.
bottom towers have gone down. The top tower is the only one remaining. The tier 3s are exposed in the mid and bottom lane, and the Dire have lost the past couple of fights very handily. So at the moment, it's looking like things are not looking good for Generation X. Now again, they're not in the worst spot. However,
6
if
in a row.
Infamous can
How about
They're not in the worst spot as they finally kill off that Slardar who
why was
was,
he there?
exploring?
All right.
Either
see,
way,
I don't
it's-
always miss kills, but when I do, it's probably because someone was somewhere they shouldn't be. And when you talk about places you shouldn't be, up in the ward spot, without a ward, without a blink dagger, without any items really, on the enemy
God,
side,
it's happening.
yeah, things are
Beastmaster
happening.
is just going through. They're not going to be able to cancel this TP, so they are going to let off Drow Ranger and now Oracle. Well, up a creek without a paddle. Do they cancel the TP this time? Looks like no. They're just zoning back Dire left and right. And looking at just even the cost of the TPs, that's more and more gold going in favor of Infamous. They're now at about a 1,000 gold per minute lead at only 17 minutes in the game, and it's not going anywhere but up from here.
Well, we think.
We
I
think.
still think Generation X, they do have maybe one more team fight left in them. But it's going to be off the back of them finding a pickoff on Infamous. Probably Greedy needs to go down first for them to win a team fight. Otherwise, he is so good at singling out a target and getting the correct primal lure off. I mean, he stopped focusing it on like heroes like Rayer, on heroes like Lawling Blue, which I think is fantastic, because early on,
The Dire
that was your
might wanna
combo to
mine
blow up
their
a
top
hero. But
tower.
now you've got to be sure there's nothing that can stop them from going down. So getting the Primal Roar onto RZS instead
Dire's
prevents
top tower's
anyone
gone.
from saving them. So when that happens, well, boom, you win a team fight because you get easy picks onto high-profile targets without any saving grace. So with this push coming down, 3/4, he has the blink, he uses it, gets really deep into the fight. There is a Sunstrike, but it's way off the mark as the swap had helped Lawling Blue get back, break the
Dire's top
leash.
tower's
Z-Talk
getting
is up
down.
very far ahead, but in no real
Dire's
danger. He's just
structure's
throwing out
looking
tracks at this
fortified.
point. They are going to catch 3 with the Slytherin Crush, dealing some damage from the high ground. They'll pop down with a gust to try to lock him in place. Yanagi might go down, but no, they turn around with a Primal Roar again on RZS. He just keeps getting yelled at and crumbles under the pressure. He'd do really bad in an office situation. As now they're diving in. GG well played gets called. Generation X, 18 and a half minutes, will crumble to the might of Infamous's push strategy. Excellently executed from Infamous. But also, I mean, we talked about it in the draft. We said they had an innate advantage with this draft. And by God, did they exploit that.
Yeah, I think, like you mentioned, it does come back down to the draft. G3X just tried to do too much, and in the end, it wasn't as synergistic as they needed it to be. And, well, Infamous, I've seen Z-Talk Bounty Hunter probably a dozen times now, and it's strong every single time. Look at that KDA, 4, 2, and 16 on the Bounty Hunter. He had, like, 10-minute Greaves or something stupid like that. And, well, in the end, execution means everything, and Infamous got it offline. So it's going to be a clean 2-0 in favor of Infamous in this best of 3 series tonight.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. This will be the only place where you get to see Z-Talk pull stuff out like that. A lot can be said about the controversy, but we'll give these guys credit where credit is due, because tonight it is just Sudamerican, and it is just a 2-0 victory, as you mentioned, for Infamous. Well played to them as they move on one step further in the brackets. Of course, Generation X will drop to the lower. However, those are still best of 3s, so they're down, but certainly not out. We'll see how much further they can travel from here on, as the playoffs are now well underway. Tomorrow we'll be back with more, but for tonight, we are done. So I'm Chicago Ted, bringing you the headlining of the action. Joining me is Android. Where can they find you?
Well, if you enjoyed the cast, hopefully you didn't hate it. If you have any feedback, I'd love to hear that too. You can find me on Twitter at Android, ANNEEDROID. You can also find me on Facebook at facebook.com/AnnieCasts.
All right, guys, you know who I am, but for those of you who don't, Chicago Ted at TedCast on Twitter. Hit me up or throw down some critiques, criticism, comments. I don't really care. I love to hear from you guys. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you all next time.